Set up with Edwin's here. How's this going to work out? What's going on?
Well, I think it's going to be great. You guys have probably been to Edwin's or know about it, but Brandon Krakowski, who's the guy who started this thing, is an amazing guy. He himself was given a second chance, and now he's got this restaurant in Cleveland where he hires all ex-offenders, and his record's unbelievable. 98% of the people who graduated from his program, all ex-offenders, are now employed at some restaurant in Cleveland. Over 30 restaurants in Cleveland have hired his graduates. And,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So, I'm excited about having him come. We're going to have lunch with the Republican senators, and I'm going to let him speak to them, but also I'm going to talk about our legislation called the Second Chance Act. We're trying to reauthorize it, improve it, make it work a little better, frankly, make it easier for good programs like this one to be able to use it. So it's an opportunity to show off Edwin's, but also to, from a selfish point of view, push some good legislation.
We talk about the prison overcrowding all the time. And the fact that the U.S. prisons have more inhabitants, I guess, than any other prison system in the world. Is this the answer? I mean, is this the leading edge of what needs to be done?
Yeah, I think this is the one where you can find a lot of consensus. I mean, some people are concerned about letting people out early, whatever, sentencing reform. I think some of that should happen on the reform side. But who can disagree with the fact that 95% of these people are going to get out? And 2/3 of them get rearrested within 2 or 3 years right now. That's crazy. So what you want to do is when they get out, help them to get on their feet so that they don't go back in the system, and that will reduce the overcrowding. But it also, keeps crime down in our neighborhoods, because that's what's happening. It helps people, obviously with their issues, whether it's mental health or drug issues, and gives them skills. That's the idea of this act, and Edwin's does this so well. You give them some way to make a living and be productive citizens. And so that's what this is about. And I think there's a lot of consensus around it. I think it's a bipartisan issue, and I think it can make a huge difference.
See, Edwin's is the exception to the rule, because there are a lot of employers, and I can't blame them, that don't want to hire somebody that has been in prison, because you think that maybe they are going to reoffend, and maybe it'll be at your place of work.
Yeah. I of course, learned that a lot. We've had some interesting discussions. We had a roundtable in Cleveland with the business community. The Greater Cleveland Partnership put it together, and it was really helpful because you had employers testifying about what's happened. And what happens is you hire these guys or women, and they're very grateful. They tend to be very loyal employees. Not that there aren't some who wash out, but for the most part, it's a very good experience from people who've taken that risk. Because I agree, for some people they view it that way, and I just encourage folks to take a look at that. Now, what we can do better, I think, is to provide, the skills for people to be able to fill some of these jobs in the Cleveland area that are going unfilled right now. So that's part of what I love about Edwin's is if you're in the restaurant business, you're looking for people. So it's not just that you're hiring an ex-offender or not, it's that you're getting somebody with the skills that you need, and that's why I think this has worked so well. By the way, according to Edwin's, and this is amazing to me, but this is what his data shows, he's not only got 98% of his graduates employed, but none of them have returned to prison.
That's awesome.
89 graduates out of that program. Not a single one has and the recidivism rate is normally very, very high. So he doesn't just teach them a skill. He also teaches them how to stay clean, how to go to work on time, how to stay out of trouble, and I think that's one reason she's been so successful.
I think my daughter is working for an organization called Towards Employment, and I'm pretty sure Edwin's does, or they do some stuff with Edwin's, or Edwin's does some stuff with them. But that's an organization that helps that population as well as some other disadvantaged people get ready for employment. So that's good.
Yeah, it makes so much sense, doesn't it, Jimmy, for all of us? I mean, by the way, the alternative is taxpayers are paying about $30,000 a year to house an inmate. So I mean, it saves millions of dollars for taxpayers as well. So if you're a fiscal conservative like I am, why are we spending all this money when in fact these people could be productive citizens, paying taxes, making a living, and I don't know. I think it's a really exciting opportunity for us.
Now, suppose Sherrod Brown tried to sneak into the luncheon. What would happen?
Past offender.
I continue to put on a costume, maybe a mustache, and kind of try to sneak in. No, look, Sherrod and I work on this together. We work on other things together. By the way, Stephanie Tubbs Jones was my co-sponsor of this legislation in the House. If some of you remember Stephanie, she represented the Cleveland area really well. We were on a committee together, and she was very interested in this second chance work also. And she, to her credit, took on her own side because, frankly, some folks on the other side of the aisle wanted to go much further and do more and work on some things that are a little more controversial in this area. And She said, no, let's get something done. And, I took on some folks on our side who weren't much interested. This was, over 10 years ago now. Now it's more mainstream and more people understand the importance of it. And so all we want to do is reauthorize the legislation, make it even more effective, have even more good programs like this one be able to take advantage of these grants and, get people back to work, get them back with their families, make our communities safer, and save the taxpayers some money.
Senator Rob Portman joining us here now. Again, congratulations on what you're doing with EDWINS here. Good luck with Second Chance Act. This is something that's could end up saving us all a lot of money, and I guess in many ways keeping us all much safer. Thanks for taking the time today. We do appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, guys.
All right.